My name is Susan Constantine, and I'm a human behavior analyst.
I got you.
Whenever I'm on a date, I'm like protective. Yeah, for sure.
He is definitely a protector. I call this constant contact. You see him clasping her hands, but I also want you to notice how he's clasping her hands. There is always a gentleness about his handhold with her.
They caught me with some weird hand-holding poses there. That was crazy.
When he's guiding her, he takes his hand and puts it on her back. This is actually our intimate zone. Our body is broken up into zones, anywhere between the shoulders and especially around the waist area and in the back or in the front. That is our emotional, that is our intimate zone. So he touches her on the back and he kind of gently just kind of guides her along. But also as she kind of pivots around, you see his hand touch her little tummy area. That is an intimate zone. You don't allow anybody to come into that zone unless you are in that love connection with them, so to speak, because this is somewhere where you don't allow somebody to touch. So that, and also just the hand gestures he has and where he's placing it and the gentleness of it, he just shows me that his mother taught him right how he treats a lady.
You always kind of have that feeling or that self-awareness.
When you see him coming out of the van, you see him walking around, his head is down, you see his lips pressed together. That's somebody that's in internal thinking, thought, so he's processing. It's not a form of anger of any of that type. It's just that he's really concentrating. When he comes around, he sees the other person very nicely, just kind of leads the guy out of the way saying, hey, I got it from here, because he wants to open the door for her.
Did you get any pushback from the actual security guards about pushing him out of the way the one night?
Pushing them out of the way?
I mean, it's on camera, Travis.
I didn't push him. I placed my hand on the gentleman's back to let him know I was behind him. If I would have pushed him, he would have turned around and tased me.
He's treating her definitely like a lady. He's not just taking her and just kind of pulling her out or letting her get on her own. And then he waits there for just a moment, waiting until she firmly plants herself on her feet on the ground. And then they move forward. Again, the very closeness they have when they're walking, the grip that they have together is very close. Again, I call it this clamshell grip that they have. I see him looking at her is that he is like a clamshell and she's the pearl. Isn't it delicate? His hand on top of hand. You couldn't protect anyone more. That is total, complete protection. That's also one of the strongest indicators of real deep love and intimacy. And also when we see her expression, she's enjoying it. She's putting her head down. That's that emotional moment. She's enjoying the emotional connection that they're having and that he is protecting her. And it's really interesting to see her a little bit more vulnerable.
It's been amazing. Loving it.
He definitely is the alpha in the relationship. That's not always true with all relationships, especially when they're power hitters. But she loves actually being guided and led, and she's allowing herself to be vulnerable that way. He's loving it too because he's very gentle. He feels like she's her prize. You could see the great big smile. You could see the wrinkling around his eyes. So you know that he is in a full range expression of what we call true joy and happiness.
I'm always like having like the sense of like I'm a man in the situation.
So when couples start to grow with one another, oftentimes at the beginning part of the relationship, they generally don't intertwine. They usually hold like this. And the closer, more entwined they become, this is what happens. And it happens just so naturally. So that's showing me togetherness, closeness, right? They're intertwined. So that's telling me that their relationship is growing and it's developing and it's becoming deeper.
Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it?
I just have a great time with these things.
He's the protector. I almost feel that there's that slight little bodyguard type of him, that he's watching around with a peripheral vision of who's around. Every single thing that I've seen, there's a pattern of his behavior in every single one of these pictures and also in the video. This is so important, and the reason why is we are trying to determine what is his baseline. His baseline demeanor is consistent throughout every one of the photos. There is no disjointedness. There's no incongruency. Everything is congruent, that he adores her, loves her, treats her like a princess. She's delicate. She's important. He's a gentleman, and he treats her like a lady. She is very special to him and a delicate person. That's how he sees her.
We never go